The Jimmy IV Sexy Cool Lounge is an inspirational podcast spreading positive energy and only good vibes into the universe through personal discovery, empowerment, and self-love awareness. Now, please join me in the Sexy Cool Lounge with our creator and host, Jimmy IV.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, wherever you might be watching this Vibe Live, right? And may your vibe be cruising at an altitude that is so sexy cool. So as always, everyone, I want to give thanks to each and one of you for your time and your energy and allowing us here at the Sexy Cool Lounge to just sprinkle in some positive energy and good vibes only along your universal journey, all right? So if you are so inclined, check out any one of our episodes between 1 and 101 episodes over at the website at www.sexycoollounge.com, and you can find the podcast on any one of your podcast platforms, all right? We'd love to have you. If you're on social media, Facebook, and Instagram, give us a follow at Sexy Cool Lounge, all right? So housekeeping is out of the way. We are Vibe Live, all right? And my guest today is a previous guest who's been on the show. Her name is Porter McCauley, and she is CEO of Danu LLC, all right? She's also a keynote motivational speaker, certified wellness coach, and she is an educator. So shout out to all the educators and teachers around the world, all right? We love you guys. I wanted to have her on the show today because she's got something really important to talk to us today about. And so I'm going to go ahead and just bring her in to the Sexy Cool Lounge. So Kate, how are you today? And welcome to Vibe Live.
Jimmy, I am doing so well, and I'm excited to see you on Vibe Live. And I just can't wait to chat tonight. I was dancing before we got started, and I'm ready.
Well, good deal. So you know how this works. So first question out the gate is, Kate, what does sexy cool mean to you?
So to me, sexy cool is an energy that you bring. You send it out to the world, and it attracts other people in. And I think that other people want a piece of that. You know, it's something magnetic, and I'm here for it. I think I send it out into the world just like you do. And I think everybody has their own sexy, cool vibe that they send out, which is amazing. I love that, everyone can be uniquely them.
Absolutely. Everyone has their own sexy coolness, which is why I am so passionate about what I do and why I try to radiate it out into the universe, right? So I can ask that question a million times, but I never get the same answer twice. So thank you for leaving your footprint again on that question. And we'll get into why I wanted to have you on the Vibe Live, right? So I think there are times when we say one step at a time, right? And we understand what that means in a sentence, okay? But I think sometimes we get lost, and it's because we use it so much as a cliche, it gets diluted, right? Mm-hmm. In the real application of it. So I wanted to have you on from a spiritual standpoint, an inspirational standpoint, and a motivational standpoint, right? And even from a self-awareness, self-empowerment standpoint. Right. What does it really mean for us to take one step at a time?
So one step at a time, like you said, can be cliche in some ways, and people hear it often, one step at a time. But I want you to think about it as a journey, and just like becoming 1% better at something will add up over time. That's really the way you need to look at it, because whatever your goals are, if they are personal, professional goals, of course you have that big overarching goal. And it's really tempting to just go right for it and say, I want that immediately, especially in the society that we are engulfed in, where there's instant gratification. Right away, we want to see things happen. Something goes too slow on your phone. You're like, what's going on here? What's the hold up? And we need to remember to slow down, because along the way, you learn and you grow and you become better each step of the way. And it takes some internal work that you need to realize that there are other people in front of you that could be on a similar journey. As we were just saying, everyone is uniquely, on their own path. you can learn from them when you take it one step at a time. If you try to run ahead, skip a few steps, you are going to most likely fall down and be in a place where it's hard to get back up, But if you dedicate yourself to saying, I'm just going to take this one step at a time, meaning, let me give you an example. If we're talking about, growing your business, for example, you have to take the low hanging fruit. You can't think that you're going to go right to the top. Now, could it happen? Of course it could, but you need to learn along the way. And I like to say, when we take those steps, there's going to be missteps. You're going to fall, and then you are going to learn from it. If you could shift that, I failed during this step of the process, to research in that journey, you're going to be able to grow in a way that you can't even imagine right now. But you have to go through the steps in order to appreciate, that overarching big goal you have. And you also need to realize that sometimes when you're on that journey, your direction may change, and that's okay too. And I think each step is important.
So when we talk about each step and we talk about the bigger picture of making that happen. So if we use the analogy of, let's say someone wanted to lose weight, right? Or someone wanted to start a business, right? The bigger picture is you want to start a business, you want to lose weight. But to break it down each step at a time, right? One step at a time, it would be, okay, the bigger picture is I want to lose weight. Now, how am I going to lose weight? And what is my goal each and every day, each and every step moving forward,
right,
as to how we're going to make the bigger picture happen without missing any of those foundational steps that are so critical for us getting from point A to point B, correct?
Sure. And honestly, I would encourage someone, whatever the journey was, a weight loss journey, starting a business, growing your business, to create a roadmap for yourself. It's okay to see what the next steps could be. You're not going blindly on this journey, right? And the idea of one step at a time doesn't necessarily mean like, well, I'm going to do this thing and then who knows what'll happen. You should be creating a roadmap and know that it is going to improve over time. So if you were on that weight loss journey, for example, I like to tell clients all the time, 1% better. Let's start with, what is the goal? What is the tiniest action you could take today to get you closer to where you want to be? Because that's easier for you. It's easier for your brain to process it. Your brain will become overwhelmed and try to, it'll protect you and you'll shut down. That's what happens when you hear that little voice inside your head saying, what do you can't do this, the imposter syndrome. But if you did the tiniest little thing on that journey, your brain will be okay with it. And then you will take more action because you are starting to shift. You're literally creating new pathways in the brain. And then you have to show up as that person. It's a new identity in some ways. If you haven't been on whatever the journey, if it's a weight loss journey and this is, new, maybe you've tried it before, but if it's new to you or you're starting again, you have to literally change who you are. You can't just say, I'm on a weight loss journey and everything starts magically happening. So I think that there's little tiny steps that you could take. I also love to tell people, think of it like boiling water at 111 degrees. Things are hot, right? But when you go up to that 112 degrees and it starts boiling and steam, you will start to see changes. So you have to realize that, of course, things are changing over time to get to the boiling point, right? Where you're starting to see it. Other people are starting to say, oh, you look like you're healthier, But in the beginning, you're putting in work and not seeing results right away, which can be hard for some people. So there's tiny steps. I would say, what is the smallest thing? And I also would say, make it easy. We've heard probably, don't make things harder than they need to be. So how could you make this easy for yourself? Maybe just 5 minutes a day. Don't overcomplicate it. And I think a lot of times we do that and we sabotage ourselves.
Overcomplication and sabotaging ourselves. Does that sound familiar, family? Because we have definitely talked about that on the podcast. So for anyone that's listening, right, and you talked about make it easy, don't oversimplify, right? What are some of the tips that you would suggest? And whether it's weight loss, starting a business, or even self-growth improvement, okay?
Right.
what are some of the things that we can at least just take away from this Vibe Live and say, okay, here are 2 things that I just want you to be consistent with daily as you start whatever that one step at a time is.
Right. Well, I'm obsessed with the brain. And I love that we can retrain our brain. So if I had to give you just 2 things to answer your question here, the first thing is that I would literally just start with 5 minutes a day. So if it is a weight loss journey, take a walk for 5 minutes. What can happen sometimes is that turns into 10 and oh my goodness, I was out for 15 minutes, but if it's 5, that's fine too. If you want to grow your business, start with 5 minutes where you are going to write down in the morning, how can I grow my business today? And then decide what one action you will take. Don't try to, if you might in 5 minutes have a long list of things that you could do to grow your business. So after you do that for 5 minutes, pick one thing and then go from there. And the second thing I would tell you is that you need to have triggers in your life. You need to have something that triggers your brain to say, you know what, I wanted to do this, and here's my reminder. That could be as simple as a Post-it note on your desk. That could be an alarm on your watch or your phone. It could be an Alexa alarm. We have these in our lives all the time. When we're in high school and the bells were ringing, we knew to go to the next class, right? When things happen and you hear a ding on your phone, you look at it. So maybe you could say if I want to take a walk, for example, or I want to move more during my work day, if they're trying to lose weight, every time you look at your phone, get up and take a walk around your office. Or if you work from home, take a couple laps around the house. So you can stack it with something that you're already doing, when you're doing that trigger there, which will make it easier. Your brain already knows. You check your email or you make coffee, you look at your phone. So with that trigger, use things, like I said in the beginning, make it easy. Use things that you already do and throw that trigger on as a stack. Stacking habits is something that your brain loves because it's easy to do and it's familiar already. You already brush your teeth. So say your affirmations right after you brush your teeth. So those are the things.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. So from a personal growth standpoint, what could we do, that one thing for 5 minutes every day consistently that we can do to improve our confidence or or improve our personal growth direction? Sometimes we get caught up in the chaos of other people's opinions of us. And sometimes that actually can manipulate us to go in different directions or to act in certain ways. So if you could give us one tip from a personal growth standpoint to remind us of our shining light and not to allow other people to dim it, what would that tip be?
Oh, one tip. I have so many I would love to share.
I know.
So one tip, you know what? I'm going to share something that I don't think I've shared before when we chatted on the podcast.
Yeah.
So I want whoever's listening right now, I want you to think of something that you want to do. Jamie and I have been talking about if you want a weight loss journey, grow your business, if you want more confidence, if you want to be a speaker, whatever, you want to start a podcast, whatever it is that you want to do, I want you to really think about what that would look like. And every night before you go to bed, I want you to make sure that you are not scrolling on your phone before you go to sleep. I want that phone to be, if you have to set the alarms on the phone, fine, and then plug it in, put it far enough away from you that it's not going to light up and distract you. Flip it over, actually. And then I want you, before you go to sleep, I want you to visualize exactly what you will be doing. And I'm not talking about visualizing, look at that person doing that. I'm talking about you as an individual. I want you to visualize yourself doing the thing. So if it's a weight loss journey, I want you to see yourself taking those walks. I want you to see yourself in the gym. I literally want you to visualize putting the deodorant on before you head out to the gym, how you're going to get there, when you get there, what's it like in there, what music are you listening to, the whole 9 yards, because when you do that every single night, and I don't want this one night, I want this to be a thing now. Start doing this every night. So when you plug your phone in and go to sleep, this is what I want before you go to sleep. This is what I want you to do. And I want you to feel it. I want you to hear what you would be listening to, who you're surrounding yourself with. And I want you to be in that situation. And then I challenge you to start to pay attention. And I don't even need to challenge you because I know it will happen. I know how the brain works. Over the next couple days, weeks, if you start doing this, you will start to see things in your life that will send you in the direction to make action. Maybe you'll see commercials for the gym. Maybe you'll see other people talking about podcasts. Maybe you'll see whatever that business idea is. You will start to see ideas like, ooh, I can do that. And it's because you are retraining your brain and you are creating that new identity for yourself. And then you will take action. Start it tonight.
Start it tonight. You said it once before on the episode that you were on. Say hello to your future self.
Right? Oh, okay. Sounds like me.
Yes. Say hello to you. Visualize you doing it in the future and take the steps one step at a time to make it happen. Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Kate, I really appreciate you coming on to the Vibe Live. Please tell us if anybody wants to reach out to you, if they want to just continue to resonate with your journey and all of the positive energy that you're putting into the universe. Please tell us, how can we find you and how can we continue to stay in touch with you?
Sure. So I know in the show notes, my website will be in there. That's the best place if you want to set up a free breakthrough call. I do that, so I can teach you some tools, things that I don't share live on podcasts or other places. I like to keep those, for those people I get to love one-on-one. And then I can tell you what I do a little bit more, but I do coach one-to-one. I actually have memberships now where I'm guiding women, a space for educators and a space for women. So you can find all of that information on my website there. I actually have a second website too. That is kate-mccauley.com. That's where you'll find the website information. I am on all of the social medias, all of the places. So I think I told you this before, Jimmy. I am not, and I never will be trying to be an influencer, but I do like to make an impact out there. I don't have time for the influencer thing.
How do we find you on the social medias?
So Instagram is Kate_McCauley_XO. And then Facebook, it is Danu LLC. Where else am I? LinkedIn, Kate McCauley. You can find me, just type in Kate McCauley and you'll find me. Yeah, so I'm on all the places. And if you do connect with me there, be sure to tell me. I actually have connected, Jimmy, with a couple people after our podcast episode. Awesome. And there's some of my favorite people now. I hope they're watching. Awesome. So yeah, I would love to know where you, stumbled upon me when you do connect. So
absolutely.
Tell me.
Well, listen, it has been a pleasure having you on the Vibe Live. Okay. This won't be the last time that we'll have you here, as well as it won't be the last time that we are going to collaborate on an episode. I've had emails come through from the previous episode about when you are going to make your return. So
love it.
Little teaser on that. We're going to make sure that we have an episode with her soon, family. I will just tell you this, that Kate will be back in the Sexy Cool Lounge before the end of the year. That's all I'm going to tell you, because I am good with surprises. All right. Okay.
Sounds good.
Listen, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time, your energy, and leaving your footprint on the Vibe Live. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Much love and gratitude to you, Jimmy, for having me.
Absolutely. And family, as we always end out everything, right? Continue to love yourself. Love yourself enough to radiate your vibe. And let's never forget that even though we do not have as much as others, man, we still have more than others. So let's continue to put good vibes into this universe so we can always get good vibes back, man. I'm Jimmy IV. I love you guys. Thank you for being a part of this Vibe Live, and I will see you on the next episode.